Hey everyone, I'm Nerdy. I'm Nat. I am notably Nerdy Nat, and welcome back to my channel. It is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to the singles, the not singles, and the it's complicated in betweeners. Today I am just making a mishmash of romance romance related things, because that's what I want to do. I know it's been a while since I last came and filmed a video, but that's because I've been trying to find like inspiration so I can make quality videos that I actually want to make. So here we are with my first inspired video in like 2 months. Let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is a movie that came out like 2 days ago. It is a book to movie adaptation. P.S. I Still Love You. It is the sequel to All the Boys I Loved Before, which is based on the book's trilogy by Jenny Han. I have the third book right up here. I really love this trilogy. It's a cute little thing to watch. Well, yes, watch and read when you're just looking for something cute and easy. Now, I was pretty happy with the first movie. It was really close to the book, but the second movie, not so much. And this is the time to skip ahead to this timestamp right here, because this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. So only keep going if you are not caring about whether or not you get spoiled, or you've already seen the movie / read the book. And/or, I think, that's what the slash means. So, the book had a different, the story was shaped differently in the movie and the book. The book, Laura and Peter's breakup happened a lot earlier on. John Ambrose and Laura Jean were pen pals before they even met in person, and that contributed a lot to how the story was shaped compared to how in the movie Peter and Laura broke up in like the middle, and her and John Ambrose started volunteering together. They met in person before they didn't even write. See, in the books, it's important that they were just friends before Laura broke up with Peter, because she's not cheating emotionally. There's no emotional affair there. And in the movie, that's how it seems, and it makes Laura seem like the bad guy. And yes, she did make mistakes with not trusting Peter, but I also really can't blame her for not trusting him, because he was still really close with his ex-girlfriend. And it was also, the letters were also important because it established a friendship between Laura Jean and John Ambrose before there was even any thought of a relationship. There was also the assassin's game from the book that was missing, and John and Laura working to beat Jen, and Jen and Peter showing up at the USO party. In the book, it was the USO party, which is a 40s thing, World War II, not the Star Ball, whatever that is. And that's what made Laura Jean like drive off with John Ambrose into the sunset. But she did eventually go back to Peter, whatever. No. I do like Peter. I do ship Peter and Laura Jean. But like that felt like a really important part of the plot to me. And there was also the snowstorm where Laura Jean and John Ambrose got stuck in the nursing home and had to sleep in the same room. That didn't happen either. That was also a big point in their relationship that didn't happen. So there was just a lot of things from the book that made it so good that were just missing in the movie, and the movie didn't meet the standards I was hoping for. And I don't have very high standards when it comes to book to movie adaptations. So I didn't hate the movie. I did like it as much as I could like it. As a standalone, it was pretty good. But if you comparing it to the book, no. So anyway, what I liked about the movie. So I absolutely loved who they cast to play John Ambrose. Also, can we talk about how in the first movie he was white? But I know it's all casting and whatever, but like inconsistencies. But Jordan Fisher is amazing. He was Philip Hamilton / John Laurens in Hamilton on Broadway. He was the current, as of recently, Dear Evan Hansen on he's in Dear Evan Hansen. He's the current Evan Hansen on Broadway. And he's been in a lot more, but that's what's most important to me. And also, if you've seen the movie, you'll recall there was a scene where John Ambrose was playing the piano. That was Jordan Fisher actually playing the piano, and it was not like a basic piece. Well, maybe it was, but I don't know. It sounded impressive to me. And I mean, I play piano, and I thought it sounded pretty impressive, and it's so cool that they actually like had an actor like showcase another talent besides acting in the movie. So I was really happy with that. And then I also liked the Chris and Trevor thing. That was really cute, and Chris, I think, deserves to be happy. And yes, strong, single, independent woman, but she deserves to have a cute boyfriend who cares about her. And they have like this really cute, playful, probably not innocent, cute, playful relationship. But I don't know. I'm not really happy with the casting of Chris, but that's probably because of the way I imagined her in my head. The way I imagined her in my head was like Maeve from Sex Education, another TV show on Netflix. And no, I do not watch it. My mom watches it. I just happened to walk in on the absolutely most awkward parts, and I just look at the screen, look at my mother, and walk out. Because I don't need that in my life. So yes, that is my opinion on P.S. I Still Love You. And I really hope they come back with Always and Forever Lara Jean. And what I really want from that movie is some more Mrs. Rothschild and the dad, because that was a really cute relationship. I want to see Margot's new boyfriend, who she met in Scotland, because, well, one, I'm pretty sure he's like Scottish, and two, he's Indian. So yes. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is my top 10 literary ships. These are not in any particular order. They were just in the order that I thought of them as I was staring at my bookshelf. So the first one, and this is my number one ship, Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This relationship is just so precious to me. It was from one of the first books that I really loved. The first one being like Harry Potter, like the first series, like big series that I read. So Percy and Annabeth, they started out as these really good friends, and the relationship developed into something more. And I believe that is how all healthy relationships should start. as a friendship, because you already know the person. It's just taking it a couple steps further when you become a relationship, because your significant other should be your best friend, and they are, if you don't count Grover, who is actually Percy's best friend, not Jason or anyone on the Argo. It is Grover. And that's on Percy Jackson and the Olympians, not the Heroes of Olympus. So, yes. So number 2 on my list is Khanej, which is Kaz and Inej from the Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows duology. So they are not actually a couple, they are romantic interests, but neither of them are ready to be in a relationship. They know they have a lot of healing to do from their respective traumas, and they want to heal and be ready for a relationship before they go into it. And not only that, Inej knows that Kaz has issues. Obviously, everyone knows Kaz has issues, but she doesn't want to settle. She wants someone who can love her fully, and at the end of Crooked Kingdom, Kaz is just not capable of that. So they part ways, and it's healthy, and I really loved that just because you love each other doesn't mean you're ready to be together, and you don't have to be. So number 3 on my list is Magnus Chase. No, it's not. Oh my god. Sorry, it is Magnus Bane and Alex Lightwood from the Shadowhunter Chronicles, originally the Mortal Instruments series, which I read back in 6th grade. So Magnus and Alec have always been this power couple throughout the Shadowhunters Chronicles in a way that I think Jace and Clary aren't, because they just, I don't know, I like their relationship better. It went through a lot of ups and downs without the craziness of thinking that they're siblings. Ew. There were misunderstandings, there are in every relationship, but they came back stronger, and their domesticity is just so cute. I love it. And the thing about Magnus and Alec is, if Jace or Clary die, then the other one probably won't have to live without them for very long. At the most, the human lifespan is up to like 80 to 100 years, and Shadowhunters don't often live that long. But Magnus is willing to go through the pain of losing Alex, immortal. And he knows, I just said Alex, I meant Alec. Alec will die. And whether it's early or late in his life, Magnus is immortal, and he will live hundreds of years past when Alec's death, and that he's willing to go through that just to be with Alex for this short amount of time. It says a lot, and I think that's why Malik hits differently than Clary and Jace to me. And then, of course, after them in the Shadowhunters Chronicle, I also like Sizzy because I relate to Simon, but they're not on my list because I have a bunch of others that I like before Sizzy. Not that I don't love it. Anyway. Number 4, Faysand, which is Feyre and Rhysand from the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy by Sarah J. Maas. Now, Rhysand and Feyre are the main couple and characters of the series, And their relationship, it starts out very rocky. She thinks he's a villain. He's not. He's just faking, or well, yeah, he's faking, plus he was misrepresented to Feyre by Tamlin because of all the bad blood between Tamlin and Rhysand. But anyway, Rhysand basically saved Feyre's life in Under the Mountain, and she was so traumatized from that. And he knew that, and he also knew that she was in love with Tamlin, and even though they were mates, he just wanted her to be happy, so he didn't push it. But everything he did was to make sure Feyre was happy, and that's why Rhysand is one of my favorite characters in the series. And Feyre is actually, I don't really like her anymore. I was rereading, and I don't like her. But their relationship is really good, and he didn't really try to be romantic. He playfully flirted, but he wasn't being serious. He just wanted her to get better, and whether that was with him romantically or not, he didn't care. He would have liked it romantically, but if it wasn't, he would have respected her decision, and that is a good man. So moving on to number 5, we have Julian and Emma, again from the Shadowhunters Chronicles. This one is the Dark Artifices trilogy. Julian and Emma are like Percy and Annabeth. They started out as best friends, and then they fell in love. And I already talked about why I like that, so I'm gonna move on. So number 6 is technically 2 and 1. It's another Shadowhunters ship. It is Tessa, Will, and Jem from the Infernal Devices trilogy. There are so many series in the Shadowhunters Chronicles, and I love it. It's just hard to remember all the names. Okay, so Tessa, Will, and Jem. Separately, Tessa and Will, Tessa and Jem, but I put it all in one because I couldn't choose between Tessa and Will's relationship and Tessa and Jem's relationship, and they both have Tessa, so I'm cheating. Tessa and Will are the couple in, well, actually they're, oh god, their relationship is so complicated, but Tessa and Will they get married, and then Tessa and Jem get married, but I'm really trying to think of how to explain this, but I ship it. It's cute, and there's just this compatibility and understanding between all three of them together as a three, and also separately in their relationships. And not only is their friendship like amazing, a platonic ship, but the relationships are really good and healthy as well, and they help each other heal, and they're all just like really good for each other, and it's in a way that I don't really feel I can express properly. So number 7 is, oh, my throat hurts from talking. Number 7 is Aelin and Rowan from the Throne of Glass series. I can't talk today. Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Aelin and Rowan are like Feyre and Rhysand mates, but unlike Feyre, Aelin is not annoying. Rhysand has been through a lot of trauma, but Rowan and Aelin have both been through a lot of trauma. But like a lot of my other favorite ships, actually most of these on the list, they started out as friends that had each other's back, that protected each other, and slowly fell in love. And Aelin and Rowan are also a kind of like hate to love kind of dynamic, and that is a trope that I love. See Snowbaz. But yeah, they're just so cute, and I love the relationship, and I love how Rowan is so supportive of Aelin becoming queen, and he's not like emasculated by her being like a powerful, strong female and being queen, and how he's just prince consort and not king, and it's amazing. Number 8 on my list. It was Maxon in America from the Selection trilogy, but I was talking about Sizzy earlier, and I really love Sizzy, so I think I'm gonna replace Maxon in America with Sizzy. So Simon and Izzy just have this like crazy dynamic, and Izzy, they love Simon the way that he is as a nerd and supports his nerdiness, and I think part of the reason I love Sizzy is because I relate to Simon so much, and I want someone who will support my nerdiness like that, and like I can tell them Star Wars as a bedtime story, like that's the dream, you know? So number 9 is Fleur Delacour and Bill Weasley from the Harry Potter series. The reason I love this ship so much, it's probably my favorite in the Harry Potter series, is because after Fenrir Greyback clawed Bill's face, made him ugly, quote unquote. I'm not saying he is, but that's apparently what Molly was thinking. It's like, oh no, he's deformed. Molly thought that Fleur only liked Bill because he was attractive, that now that he had this deformity on his face, she was gonna leave him because she was shallow, but no. They fell in love with each other for their personality, and that's so important for Fleur because she has the Vila blood. Everyone is attracted to her because of the Vila blood, because of her physical attractiveness, not for who she is. But Bill loves Fleur for Fleur, and I think that's like super important, because what's the point in being in a relationship with someone if they don't like your personality? There is none. So number 10 is Levi and Kath from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now, part of the reason I like this ship is similar to why I like Simon and Izzy. I see myself in Kath. She's a fangirl. She writes fan fiction. She ships Snow Baz, which is a good ship, by the way, even though it did not make my list. And he supports her nerdiness completely, and like I said, that's something I want to find. So that is 14 minutes of my favorite ships, and my dad's calling, so I will be right back. As promised, I have returned, and I didn't realize this video was getting so long already, so I will wrap it up after one more thing. So well, it was last semester, but last December, whatever, I read a book that I really think should have some more recognition, and it is a romance book, so I'm just gonna talk about it really quick. It is called Kiss Me in New York. I'm gonna put a picture right here because I don't remember the author. It's kind of like To All the Boys I Loved Before, in a sense, and that it's just a cute little romance book to read when you want something easy. And wow, I have my notes here, and I wasn't even thinking about it, and reading these, I just said what I thought, and it was the exact same thing. That's funny. But yeah, it was a very Hallmarky book in like a good way. I was worried it was gonna be about being fixed by love, because the main characters both just went through breakups, but it's not. It's strangers to lovers. They meet in New York City because flights are canceled, and they go through like a 12-step program for getting over a breakup together, and through the process of this, these two strangers, the main characters, become friends and they fall for each other. And I thought it was a really cute concept. Would it be something to go out and try? Absolutely not. It's not safe, but it's a cute little rom-com idea, and I think that's why it works as a book, because it's kind of that unrealistic element of the romance. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a quick read. It's only like 200 pages, but I really recommend it. The same author wrote a couple other books that are similar, but I don't know if they're all in English. I know one of them is. It's about two people who meet in Paris. I think the original books are in German, and these are translations. But it's not just... Another way to think of these is they're kind of Wattpad fiction-ish. I hate to compare it to Wattpad books because I hate Wattpad books, but it kind of has that similar feel to it of the Wattpad era, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope I didn't turn you off it with that. I just want you to be prepared for what you're going into if you do decide to read this book. But like I said, it is a good book. So besides that, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Like I said, what to look forward to on my channel. I have gotten the idea to do this thing called Classics Corner, where I read a classic book and we talk about it here on the channel. I have been wanting to read more classics for a long time, and I feel like this is a really great way to do that. I tried to start with The Count of Monte Cristo, but I'm not very far into that book, so I might have to bring it back to the library before I finish, and it's not a very interesting book. So I got Toll, which is the third book in the Scythe trilogy. I read the Scythe trilogy in between December and January, and the third book recently came out, so I'm reading that now. And once I finish Toll, I'm going to go back to my Classics Corner stuff. I know I want to read 1984. That is definitely on the list, but other than that, I'm not sure what else I want to read. So leave some suggestions for classic books you want to see me talk about maybe, or you want to know about, see if maybe you want to read them, anything. Leave me recommendations for classic books, please. And also, if there's something you'd like to see from me, let me know down in the comments. I guess that's really all I have to say. So yeah, thanks for coming, thanks for sticking around this long, and happy Valentine's Day. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and for more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Also, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts about P.S. I Still Love You, and some of your favorite ships.